Let's talk about something we've all been through. You get a bunch of really smart, talented people in a room, and the ideas that come out are just meh. It's a huge waste of potential. So today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens and, more importantly, give you 4 concrete techniques to unlock your team's real creative genius.
I mean, it's got to be one of the most frustrating things at work, right? You've got your dream team. Everyone's brilliant. You get into the meeting, and nothing. The ideas are safe, they're boring, they're just not what you know your team is capable of. So what is going on here? Why does this happen over and over again?
Well, it really boils down to this paradox. The potential in that room is enormous. Just think about all that combined knowledge and experience. It's huge. But creativity isn't this magical thing that just happens. It's a muscle. And if you don't have the right method to exercise it, all that amazing potential just sits there, completely locked away.
So what's the key to unlocking it? It's a shift in your mindset. It's this concept called divergent thinking. And no, it's not just some corporate buzzword. This is the fundamental change in how you approach ideas that makes everything else possible.
Okay, so what is divergent thinking? Put simply, it's all about going wide. The goal is to generate a ton of ideas, quantity over quality at this stage. You want things to be spontaneous, free-flowing, even a little messy and unorganized. You're basically giving yourself permission to make a big, creative mess on purpose. We'll clean it up later.
Now, before we even touch the specific techniques, you have to get this one principle right. It is the absolute foundation. When you're in idea generation mode, your only job is to generate and record. That's it. You do not analyze, you do not judge, and you definitely do not reject anything. This isn't just about being polite, it's about creating a safe space where the really bold, maybe even kind of weird ideas feel comfortable coming out.
All right, with that no judgment rule firmly in place, let's start filling up our new toolkit. We're going to walk through 4 essential techniques that will help you put divergent thinking into practice and get some seriously powerful results. First up, the one everybody thinks they know, brainstorming. But let's be honest, most brainstorming meetings are actually idea-killing sessions in disguise. To get it right, you have to follow the real rules. And these rules, they're totally non-negotiable. The goal is pure volume. Every single idea gets written down, no matter how out there it seems. Because when you stop people from saying, oh, that'll never work, something amazing happens. One person's silly idea sparks a genuinely brilliant thought in someone else. You create this incredible chain reaction of creativity that you just can't get any other way.
Now, if a long, straight list of ideas feels a bit flat, our second technique is for all the visual thinkers out there. It's called group mind mapping. It uses that same no judgment rule, but it organizes everything graphically as you go.
The way it works is super intuitive. You just write your main topic or problem right in the center of a whiteboard. Then, as people call out ideas, you draw them out like spokes on a wheel. And when someone else builds on an idea, that's a piggyback idea, it becomes a new little branch off of a spoke. By the end, you have this incredible visual artifact of your group's conversation.
Let's take a look at what this actually looks like. Remember, the goal here isn't to create a perfect piece of art. It's to see, in real time, how one thought connects to the next, building a shared map of everyone's thinking.
So imagine your central question is, how can we increase business travel? Someone might say, business development trips. Boom, that's a spoke. That might spark someone else to add a branch to it. Let's focus on emerging markets. But then someone else pivots to a whole new spoke. What about employee incentive vacations? Which immediately leads to new branches like, should they be for families? You're not just making a list, you're actually mapping your collective brain.
Okay, but what if the problem isn't the group? What if the biggest obstacle is that little voice inside your own head? You know, the one that shoots down your ideas before you even say them. That's where our third technique, free writing, comes in.
This is so simple, but so powerful. Everybody in the group focuses on the same topic. You set a timer for, say, 5 minutes, and the only rule is you write nonstop. Your pen or your fingers on the keyboard never stop moving. The idea is to literally outrun your internal critic. You don't have time to edit or proofread or second guess. You just pour raw ideas onto the page, which you can then share with the group.
Our fourth and final technique, journaling, is all about playing the long game. It's based on a really simple truth. Our best ideas almost never show up on the schedule between 2 and 3 p.m. on a Tuesday.
This is all about having a super simple system, like a cheap notebook or a notes app, to capture those brilliant ideas that pop into your head while you're in the shower or walking the dog. And here's the real kicker from the source material. You might get fewer ideas this way than in a big group session, but the quality is often way, way better. Why? Because you captured the idea in its natural habitat, at that perfect moment of inspiration.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but actually doing it is another. Let's make this real. We're going to do a super quick exercise right now so you can get a feel for how powerful one of these techniques can be.
We're going to try free writing. So first, just take 1 minute. Just think about new kinds of tours you could offer to business travelers. Got it? Okay. Now I want you to grab a pen or open a doc, and for the next 5 minutes, just write nonstop about increasing business travel. Don't stop, don't edit, just go. Feel free to pause here and give it a real shot.
All right, welcome back. Now that you've got a taste of it, here's a quick tip for bringing these classic techniques into the modern workplace. There are some fantastic digital tools out there that make this stuff way easier, especially if you have a remote or a hybrid team.
For instance, Bubble Us is great for quick, free-form brainstorming with bubbles. If you love the mind mapping idea, MindMeister is a really slick and easy tool to use with a group, and Xmind is an awesome free option that does mind maps plus a bunch of other useful charts. These tools just let you focus on the ideas themselves, not the logistics.
So we've journeyed from the problem, good teams with bad ideas, all the way to a set of practical solutions. So what's the big takeaway here?
It all comes down to this. You now have a toolkit with 4 simple but incredibly powerful techniques. You've got brainstorming, mind mapping, free writing, and journaling. They're all built on that one core principle of divergent thinking. Think of these as your new secret weapons against boring meetings and creative blocks.
Look, you don't have to just sit around and hope for a good idea to strike anymore. You have a process. You have the tools. They're in your hands right now. So the only real question left is, what big, important problem are you and your team going to solve first? Thanks for joining this explainer.